Hello, my friends, Stephanie Barnard for Sizzix, and I'm at Scrapbook.com. Today, we are gonna work on stamping and die cutting this cute, adorable card. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. See this little puppy dog in the corner? That's my dog, Cookie. I can't wait to share this card with you. Let's get started on this fun card that has my little doggy on it. First, we need to make our card base, and we're gonna be using this die set, and it's really fun because it has the trees with it, it has the sun with it, and the layering pieces on this have little tiny baby dots, so it's just a little different, which is really fun. And step-up cards are so much fun. They're so hard to make on your own because you have to measure and cut, measure and cut. This one is easy peasy. You just run it through the machine and the machine does all of the work for you. Yay! Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this set, which is the stamp and die set, using my little dog Cookie, and we're gonna be using some of these dies over here. We're gonna have so much fun with those. And lastly, we're also gonna be using this thank you pop-up card. Now, we're not making a pop-up card today. We're just gonna be using that thank you piece right there that's gonna be perfect for the front of our card. Let's get started. Now, I always like to start by using the card, making the card base first. So we're gonna get our cardstock, and we're gonna do the finger test, and we're good on our cutting pad. We're gonna lay that down, and we're going to get the die out. Now, we're gonna be using a lot of the dies in this kit. Now, it comes with 17 dies. I don't want you to be overwhelmed with the number 17. I want you to focus on the two largest dies in this kit. Those are these. It's this one that cuts all of that base beautifully. And then it's this one. This is the layering piece. So those are the most important dies. But we're gonna use almost every die in this kit. So I'm gonna open it up off camera over here, off to the side, so I make sure that I have all of those ready to grab. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay this down and we're gonna run this through machine. Now, we want to make sure again that we don't have any speed bumps. So we want to ever so slightly tilt this just a little. I'm staying on my platform, but now it's a little bit at an angle, so now I'm going to get a better cut. Then I'm going to get my larger cutting pads. So now I'm going to be using our larger cutting pad. Normally, I would use my pretty little glitter cutting pads, but it's a little too small, so we're going to be using the extended cutting pads. We're going to lay this down, and we're going to run this through the machine. Now, the cracking you hear is normal. That's the blade going through the cutting pad, so don't be alarmed with that. And it kind of tells us that it's working, which is kind of important, right? Now, when you run this through, it is cutting and scoring it for you at the same time. Oh, isn't that awesome? Because you don't have to do any of that measuring. You don't have to do any of that figuring out, oh, did it work? Did it not work? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So here we have our die that's all cut out, and you can see that there's these score lines here. We are gonna first fold it on this center score line. I'm gonna ignore my steps, and I'm gonna fold this, kind of pop those up, but I'm gonna ignore my steps, and I'm just gonna fold this center piece right here, just like that. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the steps themselves. Now, depending on what you learned in school when you were little, you're gonna either accordion fold or mountain and valley fold. Either way is correct, but on those score lines, we're simply going to fold, fold, fold. I'm not making up these folds. The score lines are there already. Fold, and look at that. The fastest, easiest step-up stair card you've ever made in your life, right? Now we get to decorate it. So the next part that we're gonna do is we are going to cut out this fun layering piece. Now, an interesting part about this layering piece is, and I'm turning it upside down so you can see it, look at all those cute little dots on there. See how fun those are? Those are very exciting, and we want to make sure they really, really cut. So we're going to run this through twice. It's better to run it through twice than it is to spend time poking that out. Can you imagine me sitting here and poking out each one of those holes? It would take forever. So if we run it through twice, we're going to get a better cut. Now we're going to add a couple other pieces because we might as well. We have all of this space here. So here, let's turn this way because I'm going to show you how much I like to use my extended cutting pads. We're going to get a lot in here at the same time. So here we have this, of course, at an angle. We're going to lay this down, and we're going to add the tree die. So let's get the tree trunk die, which is really fun. Again, at an angle, right? We don't want to have any speed bumps. And then let's add our little sun pieces. So we're going to get this little yellow one here and this little yellow one here. Now, the nice thing about those extended cutting pads is I have all of this real estate. I have all this time and all this area to work with. Now I'm going to get my cute little sun, and he's going to be out of pattern paper, he or she, I don't know which one the sun is. And then we're going to add the darker one right here. Then what are some other things we can die cut? Let's see, we can die cut this little piece here, and we are going to do this cute little part of the tree there. And then we're going to do this darker one is going to be this other die here. Oh, there it is. I thought for a second it was missing. We're gonna lay this here. Now we wanna make sure we have plenty of room, so we're gonna move this over a little, move this one over, move that one over. There we go. Now, if that happens, did you see what happened just now? I had it, and see how the die is kind of moving? Let the die go where it wants to. It's snapping to one of those magnets. We have magnets in here placed in a specific coordination, I guess you would say. I don't know exactly how to explain how we decided where the magnets went, but that's where it's gonna go. So let the die go where it wants to, and then just move your paper a little, and then it'll be perfect. And oh, we need grass. Oh, let's get some grass in there so we can lay him right here, and let's get our grass. And I think that's good enough to start. So let's get all that on there. Look at that. Woo, we got a lot of going on here, don't we? But how easy is this just to die cut it all? So we're gonna lay this down, and we're gonna run all of this through our machine. We are getting a lot of die cutting done for just our little amount of running this through. Now remember, I said those little tiny dots are on that one. So I'm just gonna go all the way to the end and just go back, which is really nice because then I know that for sure that white one is really gonna be cut. And that grass one is a little more intricate than normal. If I was worried, I could always use my precision base plate on some of these. Now I'm gonna peel this up. Oh, look at that grass, just fell right out of that die. Isn't that fantastic? So we have that. Then we have our cute little layering piece, which is right here. And look at all those dots, so fun. Now, if some of them don't cut out, we can simply rub our fingernail over the edge. Most of them will just pop right out. Then we have our cute little sun. Then we have our cute little extra sun. Now, if it sticks in there, no worries. We're just gonna grab our paper piercer and just poke that little guy out. And look at that cute little happy face. Isn't that adorable? We have our tree trunk. Again, we're just gonna pop it out. They just fall right out. And some greenery and some more greenery. Okay, let's start putting some of this together so we can see what we have. So here we have our card base. And we have our layering piece. We're gonna peel off this backing because that Sizzix adhesive is just so fantastic. Most of those little dots are just gonna come right with the adhesive, which makes life so much easier. And we're going to layer this down. Now don't worry, I have done all the math for you. No offense, but I hate math. But I've done all of the measuring for you so you know this is gonna layer perfectly on here. Then we get to start decorating. Let's add our green grass. We're gonna peel off that bottom. And most of the icky pieces are just gonna come right off with the backing, which is a little helpful, isn't it? Because then you don't have to clean it out as much. You don't have to do the weeding, which is no pun intended when I'm using grass, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our cute little grass down here at the bottom. And I'll be honest, I love this little grass die. I use it over and over and over again on all different cards. I'm gonna lay that down, get that lined up a little bit better. There we go. And then what we're gonna do is we need to add our cute little sun. Now, just for fun, I liked to ink some of the edges. And I'm just gonna grab some scratch paper and I'm gonna get some ink. Ink those edges just ever so slightly just to make some more interest to my little sun, which is so dang adorable. Turn this little guy around. There we go. And then we'll add our little guy to this. Add that cute little guy right there. And then we're gonna add him to our card. And then we're gonna do some more die cutting. So we're gonna lay this guy right there. Look how cute that little sun is. Isn't he adorable? I guess it's a he. Okay, today it's a he. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some more die cutting. Now we're gonna add the word hello. And then we're gonna add some other pieces. But I'm thinking we need to do some stamping first. Wouldn't that be fun? So let's get some stamping done. And what we wanna do, oh, we're gonna cut out some layers. So let's get some layers here first. We're gonna lay that one there, and we're gonna lay this one here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some stamping. We have some paper here. And of course, we're using the Stamper Secret Weapon because we want to make sure that we get a nice, clean image. So we are going to get our stamp out and we're gonna stamp our cute little puppy dog. And you know what I like to use? I like to use the mini cutting pads for my block because it just makes life so much faster because I already have them right here handy, ready to go. So we're going to stamp our little doggy. We also stamped the little bone and the little doggy dish, and I already have those done. So I'm just gonna, and this is a brand new stamp, so I always like to stamp twice. So we're gonna stamp once, and the second image, oh, that one looks perfect, but we'll stamp it again just to make sure. We're gonna stamp them again. Cute, look at Cookie. Cookie's so cute. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna die cut. So we're gonna bring this back, and remember, you're gonna stamp the bone and dog dish also. So I've already stamped those, so here's a little bone, whoops. And here's the cute little dog dish. Look how cute that little dog dish is. Now, we're going to peel off these dies. Now, if it snaps, see how it's snapping just a little? Let the die go where it wants and then move your paper. So that's perfect. And let's get our little cookie dog right there, lined up. Whoops, see, it snapped to the magnet, so we're just gonna move our paper. Let the die tell you where it wants to go. That's just the easiest way to do it. And it saves on frustration. And then we're going to add that little guy right there to that one. And let's see, we need to do our thank you. We haven't done our thank you yet. And thank you is a very important part of this card. So let's get out our die that says thank you. And we are going to die cut this once out of white and then once out of blue. So let's do the circle first. We're just gonna grab this and we're gonna lay this down and run that through. So look at all of this we have going on. Again, we're gonna use our longer cutting pad to make sure we get all of this die cut. Now, here's a tip. I really want you to pay attention to this because this is important. We don't want any of those dies to move because they're in the exact right spot. One wrong move on my part is gonna make them all move. So I wanna be extra careful. And a lot of times I see people lay down their cutting pads and they're just really kind of sloppy with it. You wanna be extra careful. So I'm going to pivot it into the machine. I'm gonna put it in the inside right here and I'm gonna gently lay it down right there and then I'm not gonna move it. I'm not gonna move it again. So if you move it again, you're gonna start moving those dies because those dies are being held there by a magnet, but you're stronger than that magnet. You can move those, so you have to be a little careful. So we're gonna run all those through. And now I have all these fun little pieces. Look at how fun these are. So my little bone is die cut. Look, oh, look how cute these little guys are. Now you're gonna wanna cut out a couple bones, but I know you don't wanna watch me do that, so we already have some cut out. Then we have our cute little dog dish cut out. So adorable, look at that. And what else do we have? Oh, we have Cookie Dog cut out. Now sometimes we call her Cookie Monster because she is kind of a monster sometimes. And then we have our hello cut out. Look how good that is, isn't that fantastic? And then our layering pieces. Now our layering pieces are very important because they're just adding more emphasis to our stair steps. So let's go ahead and add those to our card. We're gonna peel off the adhesive, just like that. And we're going to add this to this step. And if you want to, you can flatten it out just to make sure that it gets in the right spot. And just make sure you're putting it in the right spot. And then we wanna add this one. Again, we're gonna just peel off that adhesive backing and add this to this one right here. And now we're gonna add some more. We are going to add, oh, we can color our Cookie Dog. And I already colored Cookie, so let's find the one we already colored. So look how cute this one is. Now, you can color Cookie any way you want. Cookie in real life is white, so I should use the white one. But here we have this one, and here we colored him a little different just to make a different idea. So you color him to match your puppy or your doggy or your friend's doggy. So this one looks a lot like my friend's dog, so we're gonna use this one because, you know, my Cookie gets enough attention. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some adhesive to this, and then we're gonna find our tree because every dog needs a tree, right? Oh my goodness. So we're gonna add that little Cookie right there, and then we're gonna get our tree trunk. And I have adhesive on the back, but I don't want, actually I do want all the adhesive, so we are gonna be using it. But sometimes you have the tree all the way in the back and you don't want it to be sticky on the back, so you would only peel off half of the backing of the adhesive. But we're actually gonna use all of it, so that's a good thing. Whoosh. And then we're going to get our cutout pieces. So we're going to add this one, and we're gonna add this one. We're gonna peel this up, just like that. And you can mix and match this one. It does have an actual spot the way it goes, but I like to have it mix and match different ways. So we're gonna lay that down. Then we're gonna lay our little tree down. Look how cute this is. And then we're gonna add this piece right on top, give it a little bit of adhesive. And we're gonna add this one right on top, just like that. And then we're gonna add our tree right here. We'll put it a little bit, see how I'm putting it a little bit behind Cookie, just to add more interest. And then what I wanna do is I wanna add some little flowers. Now I've already die cut these little tiny white flowers, and there's a little die in this kit. Look at this. I didn't want these all to be single dies. Can you imagine trying to find that little die if I left this all on one? I'm sorry, if I made each one its own die. So there are 4 flowers to cut out on here, but I've already done that, and this is a trick that my good friend Dina taught me. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take these, and we are gonna, because I forgot to add Sizzix adhesive to the back, I'm gonna take a Sizzix adhesive sheet and I'm going to open it up. Don't touch that part for real, but I'm gonna drop my little flower on there and I'm gonna pick it up, and guess what? It's gonna have adhesive on it. Now I can add it to my little tree. Now we can even do that if I forgot on the bone. So let's find the little bone and look at all these fun little pieces. Here's a little bone, and this one's even colored. So we just added a little bit of markers. Again, we're gonna just peel this up. And the nice thing about this is if you don't wanna get too messy with your tape runner, just do this little trick. So much faster. So we're gonna add the cute little bone to Cookie. Now for fun, we're gonna add some ribbon. I always feel like ribbon and twine just adds extra dimension. It adds more interest. It just adds another layer of fun or professionalism to me, I guess. I just feel that it really kind of makes the card. So we're going to tie a knot on this one because we don't want it to be too overwhelming, but we want people to see it. And it gives it a splash of color, which is even more fun. So we're going to tie that, and we're gonna line that up a little, and let's give it a little trim. So we're just gonna trim there, and let's add a little bone to this because, you know, dogs love bones, right? When I left this morning, I gave Cookie 2 because I was having mommy guilt for leaving her today. So we're gonna add that one right there. Look how cute that is, isn't that adorable? And then we are going to add our cute little bowl down here. And I did have one cut out. Let's see if we can find it. Here it is. And we're gonna, again, do our new little trick, but this one is not colored. So I am going to peel this off, and I'm gonna add this right here, and I'm just gonna add a little tiny bit of color to this one. And I like to color a little. I'm not much of a colorer, but I like to add a little bit of color when it needs it. So we're just gonna add some little color right there. Look how cute that is. And just for kicks, let's add a little bit of gray to the inside. There's a flower. Let's add another flower. And I think we are about done. We're gonna add another flower there because you always like 3. So now we have the makings almost done, not quite, we're getting there. Look at how fantastic this is. There's a lot of steps on this card, but imagine the wow factor when you give this to your friend or a loved one or anything. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our cute little hello up at the top, and then to finish it off, we're gonna finish our thank you circle. So let's get this guy out. Now look at how intricate this is. Imagine trying to add adhesive to this. It's so teeny tiny. So we're going to peel this off. I'm surprised they let me design one this thin, but look at how beautiful that is. We're gonna add this one right here, just like that. And then we need our thank you. So let's find our circle and let's add some pop dots to this because you can never have too many pop dots, right? So let's just add 2 to this one. So we'll add 1 there. And we're gonna add 1 here. And we just have a big white circle that doesn't look like much, right? So now let's get our blue cardstock. Remember, with our white one, we die cut just this circle, just like that. And that's gonna cut out a blue circle. But if we add this thank you die, that's technically supposed to be a pop-up, but we're using it for a different purpose, we're gonna lay that down just like that, and we're gonna use some glitter. What does glitter have to do with die cutting? Well, if you have a glitter cutting pad, it has everything to do with it. Glitter cutting pads are so fun. They add so much extra sparkle to your life, right? Am I right? And you can find them when they're on your desk. They're so much easier to find, and I love that. So just a heads up. Now we're gonna peel this off, and look at this. Ready? Dun, 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 dun. Look how cute that is. Is that adorable or what? Now we're gonna add this to our card, and again, we're just gonna peel off that adhesive. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. We're gonna lay that on. Now we know it's the exact same size because it's the same outer die, And last but not least, of course, is this cute, cute little bow. We're just gonna add this little bow, and we can add adhesive just like this with Dina's trick. I guess it's now gonna be called Dina's trick because it was Dina's idea. And we're just gonna add a little bit of adhesive to the back. We're gonna add this right there, and boom. That was pretty fast considering all the layering and all the fun things we did. We stamped, we made a cute little cookie dog, and we added a thank you that's really supposed to be a 3D pop-up, but we changed it up a little bit. And look at the result. Isn't that fantastic? Thank you so much for joining me for this fun step-up card, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.